Kyle, I'd like to start this episode off by reading a brief prepared statement, if that's okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'd like to start off by apologizing to the league, the judges, of course, and most importantly to the fans. My behavior last week on the podcast was totally inexcusable. I should not have flipped off the judges and disrespected the integrity of the Tttttdtts. As a host, I take my responsibility to the show seriously, and in the future, I vow to double my resolve and commitment to keeping things on the rails and professional. So thank you to Kyle and everyone at home for giving me this second chance. And now, it's the Tttttts. Kyle, roll a D20. It's the Tttttts show. Hurry up, Kyle, and roll. The Tttttts show. It's the Tttttts show. The Patreon special, where we roll just their questions and not ours.
Oh, yeah. And I'm rolling goldfish die.
Ooh.
The D20 goldfish die.
Ooh.
And I got a big number 5 on that D20
big
roll.
number.
Thank you for that apology. I think that the judges will find that is good. The judges are of course are they're present today then?
Just
for this apology?
For their own mental well-being, they've elected to be at a remote location for this record. But they are still watching live.
Okay, they are still watching live. Great.
Yeah.
I felt that was very sincere and genuine. Absolutely. As we will continue forward on the rails.
This is an on the rails episode, of course.
This is on the rails. Will it be or will it not be? That's
Kyle.
It won't.
You won't be surprised to learn at all that we've gotten a Becca question with your question. And this is a general Dungeons and Dragons question that we've gotten on. I need to get a timer up. We're going to have 10 minutes to discuss it. And her question is, rules as written aside, do you think a nat 20 should be treated as an automatic success or not?
Ooh, I like that question. Is the timer going?
The timer starts now. Boom. What do you think, Mr. DM? You're the DM here. You make all the rules.
I love a natural 20. There's nothing more exciting in this game than a natural 20. Natural 20s, by the rules, let's say what kind of the rules are, is that it's not an automatic success. The player gets to do whatever they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like automatic success and there's no repercussions. But should it be treated as an automatic success? It's kind of the question. I think the heart of the question is, if someone wants to do something, if I want to persuade the king to give me their kingdom, and I am a bard and I'm pleading with them, I want to be king, and I roll a persuasion check and it gets a natural 20. First off, should that be allowed, or should that roll even be allowed? Is probably the first question.
Yeah, I think that actually probably gets to the heart of the matter, because to me the answer to this is obviously no. Just because a nat 20 is a 5% chance. You shouldn't have a 5% chance to succeed at literally anything you try to do, right? But it is up to the DM, I guess, to decide if something is even possible to begin with and warrants a roll. Right? If you're going to allow me to roll, it should be something that there is a chance of success at, maybe, I would think.
Yeah, a chance of success and a chance at like an extreme success. Because that's what that nat 20 roll, I love to treat that as something just extra over the top. Like the DC could be 300. And if you roll the nat 20, then you get that. And so it's the job as the DM to say, okay, yes, I will allow you to roll persuasion to the king, to allow the kingdom to be yours, is what you're pleading. And if they roll a nat 20 on that roll, perhaps the king is amused enough by that he gives you a quest or something, something that's like...
I think there should be like maybe an unexpected success case for an otherwise impossible thing, like what you're describing then. Yeah, like normally if you try to persuade the king to give you his kingdom, perhaps any other roll, he just kicks you out of the castle. But if you get a nat 20, he does not give you what you asked for, but gives you something else, you know, or rewards you in some other way. I think is fair. If you make a nat 20 have a degree of success always baked into it, but that's difficult to do.
Yeah, it's difficult to do. In combat, it's a little bit different too, because like, let's say a monster like has a ability that you have to, you know, give me a Constitution saving throw or take 20 points of poison damage or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if they roll a natural 20 on that, the rules in the book are just, hey, you've saved on that roll, so you take half of that damage, because that's what's in the monster stat block, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of like success, complete success, that you get to just negate all of that damage.
Well, we've never had a situation where somebody got a nat 20 on a very important save and it ended horribly for them still, or anything in our home campaign.
No. Player character didn't die because of that.
No. Did she die by like 1 HP or something too? Like, did it just barely
hit
go
her
over?
exact HP. Yeah.
That's tough. I do think there is, I mean, it all worked out for us in the end, but there is an argument to me there that in that specific situation, even though rules is written, you take half damage. If it's exactly how much health you had and you nat 20, I could see a world where you're like, you hold on with 1 HP, you know?
Yeah, like, but that was just a disintegrate zombie beholder spell. And that was a nightmare for that. I mean, it was intense, right? You guys went on a quest and got her back to life.
Think it actually, it was so perfect because we did go on that huge quest. And I think, honestly, the fact that she nat 20'd on it is why it was worth allowing us to go on the quest and bring her back in a way. Like, if Brooke had just ate shit on that roll and like clearly she deserved, like, oh, there's no doubt, like she took like 500 damage or something, you know, like way over her health, she should just be dead and gone, and we kind of have to accept that it worked out that way. But the nat 20, it allows just that little bit of doubt in my mind that her spirit could linger in some way where we could save her.
Could I, as a DM, have saved her in that moment? Perhaps. I was trying to stick to the rules.
I think it's good how you did it, though. I was trying to say, because I like that it turned into that quest, and I think giving us the quest was sort of the reward for the nat 20 in a way. And I think that it really was one of the more dramatic moments of playing D&D to be like, oh no, Brooke's getting hit with this disintegration ray. Well, thank God she nat 20. She's going to be fine, hopefully. And then no, it's exactly her
damage that I rolled for.
Yeah.
Exactly her health. And this was like a combat that was so intense at the end where you guys were deciding, do we run? Do we fight it? Do we run? And there was like a couple decisions that like had, if there was a couple decisions that went different ways, it would have been, they would have been completely different. Or if I was rolling, you know, randomly for the zombie beholder to actually, you know, target somebody. Mm-hmm. And so if it targeted somebody else, you know, it's crazy scenario. But yes, I think that in general, a natural 20 needs to have some extra zhuzh on it. You know, something that really helps, but be an automatic success.
Does it always break? Like you say, you automatically. So on a save, if you nat 20, you automatically take half damage, even if your save is below the DC, let's say. Like, if, let's say it was something I have like -3 in dexterity and I have to make a dexterity save and the DC is 18. Like, I can't beat it. You still let me take half on a 20?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm curious then, success. I would think in reverse, if I'm the one attacking and I can't beat somebody's AC, do you think I should be allowed maybe to just do half damage on a nat 20?
I think that you do full damage.
Full damage? Is that what's in the rules? I don't actually know.
Like, let's say you're a level 1, you know, barbarian.
Yeah.
And you are fighting a Tarask that has an AC of 30, you know, and you swing an axe at it. And you hit a natural 20.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do the damage.
Are you going to give crit damage or are you going to give regular weapon damage?
I would get crit damage, but that thing, the Tarask probably
I know, it's going to be fine. That's not going to affect it at all, really. But.
On a natural 20, you kill the Tarrasque.
Yeah.
There's a level.
This is an interesting question coming from Becca, of all people, too. The most dangerous person it would be to say blanket a nat 20 is an automatic success, because she would simply succeed at everything at that point, you know?
Yes, exactly. She really wants me to say, yes, it's an automatic success. And then she's going to start.
Yeah, she's going to have the audio of you saying yes.
Things.
She's going to play it at the table every time you play.
Per your last statement, this shall succeed. There's nothing you can say about it.
But I do think it's also fair coming from Becca, who's somebody who, I think it depends on how strongly you punish nat ones as well. And Becca likes to punish nat ones with like additional negatives that come from them. And so I think always rewarding a nat 20 with some degree of success is a fair counterbalance to that mindset.
Yeah. And nat ones are fun too. Nat ones are like, you know, when they happen, some people argue that they're more fun than nat 20s.
I love the chaos that they introduce into the game for sure. I mean, I'm somebody who routinely is looking like to get hurt randomly and make the situation worse for our team. I can remember us playing in Waterdeep with Skort early on with his bad knee. Like we had a bunch of gold and I just rolled a bad roll and I was like, oh, I just dropped all the gold. Like it just fucking took a knee and dropped everything on the ground. Like I love doing shit like that. So I'm a big fan of the negative consequences in nat ones, and I don't know. I don't get enough nat 20s to feel strongly about them.
I know I don't get enough of them either. But I guess I do. Yeah, because Becca like calculated all of our rolls from Expedition Untold, and I had like the second most nat 20s, which was kind of cool.
Do you roll the most as a DM though? I'd like to know. I'd like Becca to go back and crunch the nat 20 per roll numbers. I want the efficiency metrics.
I was definitely
I want to know Kyle's
more
true shooting numbers. Like this is basketball, you know?
Yeah, because you had like combat against like 6 outlaws.
Yeah,
that all had two attacks. So, that's 12 D20 rolls I was making for their turn.
Yeah. You had a lot of opportunities. You're like Luka Doncic out there. Like, sure, you're putting up 40 points, but you're taking like 35 shots, like, come on.
Yeah.
We got 30 seconds left for any further insights.
I was just going to say, from a game design, I think it is fun that 10% of your rolls are either going to be a critical success or critical failure. And if you're rewarding the critical successes and de-rewarding, punishing the natural ones, the critical failures, that makes for a
de-rewarding sounds like some gentle parenting bullshit. We don't punish our kids, we de-reward them.
We de-reward. That's great.
And on that note, Kyle, time is up.
Boom.
Easy peasy. Look at that. How's it going, Kyle?
Pretty good. Feeling accomplished, actually.
Really? Why?
We just took down all of our Christmas decorations that we had up left. The Christmas tree was really left, and that was the last thing standing in our house. Took it down, organized our basement utility room where we keep all the stuff. Feeling pretty good. Last day of my vacation break off before going back to work tomorrow. So
very nice. I'm not feeling good or productive. I basically got out of bed 5 minutes before we started recording, I think. Like I got up to walk the dog like 2 hours ago and, helped make sure Dottie had some cereal, and I've just done nothing since then. I didn't even have the energy to get coffee. I slept horribly last night. I kept waking up in the middle of the night,
Oh.
Got some nat ones on my sleep checks. I don't know.
Is a sleep check a constitution check? That would be a constitution, wouldn't it be?
Maybe. I could see oftentimes the trouble with sleeping is a restless mind to me. And I don't know where that falls under wisdom, maybe? Some sort of wisdom check to quiet your mind?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
Could be interesting. We need to get our tree down as well, though. But I love having a Christmas tree up in the room. I don't know what kind of lights you have on your Christmas tree. Do you do like LED ones or more like?
We had last year. We upgraded to the LED because we had like a tree that was. We always buy the self-lit trees, but the one that we had bought like lasted like lasted a year because we had it on all the time. And then Carrie tried to change out all the incandescent light bulbs on it as they were going out. And one day I got home and it was just gone and there was a new tree there.
Beautiful.
And it's honestly was worth it because you get the self-lit tree. You don't have a self-lit tree?
No self-lit for us. We have a fake tree, but Celia, Celia, she sets it up every year and decorates it. And she is a staunch proponent of the incandescent bulbs. She does not like the LED bulbs. And I think I agree with her. I like the softer glow. It makes me feel more like a kid with the older style lights on there. It's very cozy for me at night when I'm like watching a movie and I've got the soft glow of the Christmas tree next to me. It's our preferred thing.
I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm so used to looking at screens and blue light that I just brighter light.
Ooh,
nice. Ooh.
I think it suits. I think it depends on your house as well, though. You've got a much more modern house. Like our house is over 100 years old, so it just feels right to have like an older style light in there. I don't know how else to describe it. Like it would feel out of place to have brighter LED lights in our living room to me. Yeah.
The self-lit is amazing though. You plug it in and then you put the next chunk in, chunk, and then it just lights up, and then the next chunk, chunk, and then it lights up. But we have a clicker on the bottom it has 7 different modes.
Oh no, you got like some of that Last of Us fungus in your house? Got a clicker in there?
Yeah, we keep one around and we have to run from them all the time.
To keep the kids away from the presents so they don't try to open them early. You keep one under the
Christmas clicker.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas clicker. Everyone should have one. It's like Elf on the Shelf. We got the Christmas clicker.
That's nice.
Yeah, they really learn fast to not, because if they don't learn, they're eaten and dead. They become a clicker themselves. It spreads rapidly. But no, the clicker, you click on it and it has 7 different modes. So my favorite is just the glow, the fake incandescent look, the yellow. The kids love the multicolored one that's like flashing, the most abrasive. Why would you ever have this be part of your Christmas tree?
Yeah. Just draw all the attention in the room.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I'm with you. I've never put any other mode on my Christmas tree lights than just on, soft glow on. That's it. That's all I want. I don't want twinkles. I don't want phasing between colors. I don't want flashes. It's cool to have it though. It would be very nice to have the convenience of it's all just set up and you just do it. Cause we do every year. Every year I feel like Celia gets out the lights and they're not working and we just end up buying new lights. I feel like it's what happens basically every time. So, nice. Well, whatever. Why are we talking about Christmas tree lights again? Because we took them down and we're moving on from Christmas. Kyle, right now, you and me both. It's over. This is the new year episode.
New year 2026. I'm feeling good about 2026.
Ooh, I don't know how I'm feeling. Well, world news has been great. We're off to a great start.
We don't think about world news. We don't think about that.
Yeah, we won't.
What is world news?
We live in our imaginations. Bad. Everything's looking good in the tavern.
There's always a fire in California at the end of this month.
Yeah.
I think. And so world news? What is world news? 2026 is an even year, and I feel better about even years, and that's what I go off of.
Interesting.
So
I think I feel better about odd years.
Do you?
I do. As a 91, we're 91 kids, Kyle. So, I was born on an odd year. I've been accused of being an odd man. So I just think that it's appropriate. I don't know. Should we roll? Should we roll for another question, Kyle? I don't think we have any other business. What's new in the tavern? Episode 5 is coming out this week.
Yeah, episode 5 is Ceramica.
Heck yeah, possibly the funniest episode of them all. One of the best episodes. Very really excited for people to get to that. Boy, if you've liked the weirdness already, it gets real weird in this next one. Let me tell you, Peter Pancake and Count Dracoco aren't nothing compared to where it's going.
We have some of our people have started receiving merchandise from our store.
Our merch store.
Becca was, I saw her goat tote that she had.
Hell yes.
Brought it to D&D the other day. It's pretty awesome. And the Ceramica mugs are out.
Yes. There might be
I
a problem with the Tall Tale
but...
Tavern logo shirts. So maybe don't order one of those yet until you hear more from us.
Yeah.
If you're listening.
Quality on those did not... was not impressive.
I'm going to order my own and see how that comes, I think. I want to order.
You could get a limited edition. You could get a limited edition first run of the Tall Tale Tavern podcast shirt that is messed up. The white line on the side of the logo.
There we go. White line printing error variant. Yeah, that'll be like when you get a rookie baseball card that has a misprint and it's worth like $10,000. You know?
Hurry, get to the store now. Buy it before... Before we take it down.
I want one of those, and I want one of the Legends of the Lamp, or the Wishful, whatever the third bicentennial War of the Wishes, Legends of the Lamp. There it is. That's the name. I want one of those shirts, just for myself. This isn't advertising because we don't make money from it. It's just what I want.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We sell those on the shop at cost, basically, just to have some fun merch. Yeah. So
consider buying.
Yeah. Are you rolling?
Yeah. I guess I can roll the number and you'll roll the time, but I have to tell you if it's with advantage or disadvantage. So first, I need to roll the number, don't I? Ooh. Okay. We've got a question from one of our newest members of the Patreon, Kyle, and you are going to roll this with advantage. This is from Zombie Creeper.
Ooh.
And the question is, if you were turned into any character from the Tall Tale Tavern, not NPCs, for a year, who would you choose and why? So
I love this question. Okay. Advantage on this roll gives us a 13.
Okay.
13 minutes.
13 minutes starting now. Well, I'm eliminating anybody from disorderly conduct right away because I don't want to be.
Don't want to be an old person.
Yeah, I don't want to feel shitty and be blind. So.
And do we get to pick any of our characters? Is that what it said, or any?
I think it's any character. It doesn't have to be one of ours. Cool. So I guess I'll just end it right away. Valley Jack, I'm done. You talk for 12 minutes, Kyle. No.
I choose Valley Jack as well.
All right, we're both Valley Jack, so we'll just kind of sit here in silence for the remaining 12 and a half minutes. I guess this question is this. Let's think about this. Let's really dig into this question. I'm turning into them in my world, or am I becoming them in their world? Because those are different answers.
I read it as you are becoming them in our world.
So did but then we had 13 minutes, so I'm just trying to, we can think of both, I think, to fill the time a bit. Because I don't want to live in Valley Jack's Western world. That's for sure. And the question is, I get so heady when I think about turning into another person. Does that simply mean my mind and their body, or are they're me? Suddenly, for a year, I am gone.
I am that person. No, you are that person, and you get all their abilities, and you get to do.
Do you think you take on some of their brain chemistry, though? Like, do I become a more positive and upbeat influence by nature of being Valley Jack?
I think you can let that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can let that happen. But here's the thing: you have a year of this. Do you really want to feel positive and good and happy for a year and then go back?
No, I don't want to go from Valley Jack to me. No, you're right. That's terrible.
Here's I'm going to think of this pragmatically. Say I have a year. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and make the most difference. Whether that's maybe positive difference, or maybe I'm just going to try and make the most money for myself in 1 year, take it the other direction.
Okay.
What if I turned into, let's say I turned into Nambi for a year, I would be the best doctor in the world. Healing magic, where I could just go into clinic and just be like, your Crohn's, you're healed. There we go.
Cure
Lesser
disease.
restoration, greater restoration, you're gone. Next, and become like this. I could become like the healer celebrity doctor.
Now these things have material components that you're really. There's no leeway on this in the real world. So to heal these people, you are going to have to spend probably a pretty penny on things at the same time. But you do have magic, so like, how hard is it to make money? If you have a single cantrip, you can become the most successful magician in the world.
Right, yes.
So, like,
If you have prestidigitation,
yeah, you're good.
that's magic. That's the magic that we do.
So Kyle
right?
becomes a magical rabbit doing a show in Vegas where he pulls himself out of a hat, and then on the side he is healing people with his cleric
Oh,
powers.
I have to be a rabbit person.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
I forgot. So like all of a sudden I'm a rabbit
You are.
person.
You're taking your kids to school, and there's a little rabbit. You're a rabbit woman too. You're Namby, so you have changed your biological sex now as well. That's confusing.
Oh no, that's very strange.
This is rough on Carrie. She went from being married to a human man to a rabbit woman.
A rabbit woman.
Now, do you take on their voice too? Because then it's a rabbit woman with her sister-in-law's voice.
I think so.
Okay.
But I would be an incredible healer.
You would.
I would walk in a clinic and I would have my nurses, if I can convince my nurses that I am the same person, I would have them go into the room and say, hey, look, Dr. Davidson's here today. Just so you know, he is wearing a rabbit costume and talking in a different voice.
Very realistic rabbit costume.
Very realistic. It's part of a thing that he's doing, but he's like at least twice as good of a doctor now. Yeah. So just bear with him. And then I'd walk in and say, you don't need medications anymore. I wave my hand.
I wave my hand.
Walk out. And then and it would actually make my job really easy if I could just heal. Let's say the word didn't spread. I just healed all my patients.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just would have 2,200 patients, I think is like my panel or whatever of just healthy people. And then my job would be incredibly easy going forward.
That's true. If you gave them all one like complete magical heal in this year, then like, yeah, they're going to probably be healthier moving forward as well. Right. So that would make you, that's a good notion. Is Namby our best cleric on the podcast? Our best choice?
I think she ends up being the highest level. And that's what made me think of.
That's fair.
Of her. The technically there's a level 20 cleric like in that one shot that's not on the
but that doesn't count. I guess that's technically part of the tavern's history, maybe, right? But it's not official. It's not
official.
No, it's that's like the like Star Wars novel, like the book that's a spin-off thing. Like some nerd can reference it if they want, but if it wasn't in the fucking movie, it doesn't count. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
But Tiddly did do over 1,000 healing in one turn.
That's true. That's pretty good.
It's over 1,000.
My first thought is, speaking of levels, is like, and this is surprising to me also that your first thought isn't here, is like one of the kids from A Christmas Carol, like, you could become Santa for a year, Kyle. Like, you can't be literally Santa, but he's retired, so you're one of his inheritors.
Being Kringle Harkin would be pretty great for a year. I mean, he's the guy that everybody loves.
That's
up
true.
At the North Pole. Just be high for a year, high on life.
High on life. I think that's not a bad gig. I don't think I would want to be Carl. He's a little too racked with self-doubt. For me to want to be him.
You were Herman, right?
I was Herman, yeah.
Herman was a little bit grumpy.
He was kind of a grumpy elf, and so he's an angry elf.
He's South Pole elf.
And I don't think I want to. Priscilla, she's pretty. Here's the thing.
Priscilla's a good choice, I think.
I love a fast character, so I do like the idea of being like a monk in real life. Like, I don't think that a fast. He's mocking me. He's laughing at me. I love speedsters.
I know, but I'm just imagining you just running all the time for a year, just like loving it.
I would love it. That's the thing. Like, I hate it because I have the physical limitations of a real human body, and I get tired and I get wheezy and I'm fat and it sucks to run. But like, as a kid, I always thought the Flash was like the coolest superhero ever. And the thought of being able to be a monk and like Step of the Wind, and Priscilla had a turn where she moved like 300 feet in like one turn or something like that. Like, that's pretty sick to be able to do that. But I don't know if it could possibly have as much value as being a cleric. I feel like you have to choose a spellcaster. Magic, the ability to bring magic into our world is like,
it's got to be a spellcaster. If you choose like a fighter, it's like, Okay, cool.
I choose Dirk. I just want to be a dipshit little tiefling.
I choose Christopher and just be a teddy bear that doesn't know anything.
I want to be. Oh, speaking of the wild magic,
just wants
one,
honey.
What was the what was Tyler's character's name?
That was Alarian.
Alarian, yeah. I've always pictured him as the hottest character in the Tall Tale Tavern, so maybe him. Like Astral Elf just sounds like that's going to probably be a pretty cool looking person to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got Astral 4.5 more minutes. I'm trying to think of any characters. I feel like I don't want to pick one of my characters, because I've already been them so fully. I'm such a method actor that it just feels like I've been them.
The method acting does get really annoying when you act like it for a whole week.
Anytime for all of Expedition Untold, I made you exclusively speak to me as Imtiro, and I was constantly starting fires in your house.
Yeah, so stop. Or a fake glove that does the fire effect.
Yeah, we're playing D&D, and I'm just writing notes and burning them with a lighter and throwing them in the air while we're. So who are our spellcasters? I mean, wait, well, what level was Aura? I mean, I know I already said I don't want to be an old person, but what level were they by
10,
then? Were we higher then?
I think you guys were 10 or 11.
Because she might be the highest cleric, actually, right? Because she's a cleric.
Well, you guys got up to, yeah.
Did we get up to past that as
I thought you got up to 11 or something?
You know what? I can
10?
click on the My Characters bookmark that I have right now and tell you what level Imtiro was. He was level 11, and Malter is level 10. So you're right. You're right.
What if I showed up to your house and said, "Hey, let's go to I'm picking you up to go to a movie," and we go out to the road. Mm-hmm. My car's not there. And then I turn into the car as Ben Biofuel. I mean, hop inside.
Talk about a fucking by the same logic that we were really screwing Carrie over if you turned into Nambi. What a dream scenario for if you turn into Ben Biofuel. Yes. Suddenly you are just Vin Diesel in his prime,
Then she would leave me after a year, though. That's the problem. I would turn back, and then she'd be depressed for the rest of her life. Be sad.
Yeah, no.
And Ben Biofuel,
I still love you, I guess.
He's a cool car, but remember the insides of his car are skin covered.
It is disgusting. It has that
in there. Mole that Landy liked to tickle.
Tickle.
Yeah. It would be very fun to turn into a car or motorcycle. I think that'd be.
Could I be Espresso and then I'm never tired? I'm a coffee person. I could use a year
an elf is a great.
Anybody who doesn't need to sleep.
Because he's like a reflavored elf.
Yeah.
Which means that, he has caffeine flowing through his body. And so he just needs to rest for 4 hours. But elves in general, just 4 hours of meditation and you're good. That's amazing.
That's pretty sick to have to cut out sleep as a necessity. So much you can get done. So much more. You don't have how many episodes I could edit of this podcast if I didn't have to sleep. Come on. I do think, though, okay, if I'm thinking of we have to choose a spellcaster just for logical sense. I mean, I didn't want to pick one of my characters, but I might honestly pick Cassie No Sense because we know that I love druids and being able to turn into animals. Having spells and the ability to turn into animals is a sick combination.
Yeah, sure is. I don't think she was high enough level to turn into a flying creature.
No, she's one level off. She's level 7. So
do we have any druids that can turn into flying creatures? Because I really want that one too. But I don't think we do.
No,
druids one of our least played.
I really think for druids we maybe do we only have Cassie and then Clay's character in the tournament? Do we have another druid?
I think Radia
was a druid, and so is Lizzie McFire. They're both druid. The fire druids in particular, I never think because they never turn into animals, so it just doesn't enter my mind. Yeah, they always
summon their fire spirit.
Yeah,
with them.
So I don't think and even though I love him too.
I could just be a fly. I could just be Nutmeg. I could just be a fairy.
Oh yeah, we could just be somebody who has a fly speed. I guess that makes a lot of sense. I would choose Steal the River Fist Quick from the wrestling thing. Honestly, I would love to become like a professional wrestler for a year. And if I were a bird man who could fly, I think I could make it to the top of the WWE pretty quick. Yeah. So that might be my choice. I could make a lot of money in that year, and then I could do good with that money afterward, I guess, if I want to be a nerd like Kyle, and do good.
You could time your last performance to when you turn back.
Oh, that'd be sick.
And
I get pinned the one time I get pinned, and then I revert back. Time is up, Kyle, on this.
Ooh. Time is up on Steel Fist Quick.
Yes. So I guess that's my final answer. Steel the River Fist Quick. Another non-canon character, but that's fine. We did it, Kyle. We answered that question successfully. And now it's the tweener. We've made it.
It is a tweener. Should I ask? I think I need to ask the Discord, though, but for the last question.
Oh, yeah. I guess we should ask them to roll.
So I'm going to say roll a D20 and then a D20.
Ooh, you could say roll 2 D20s, but no. I like that better. Roll a D20 and then a D20 is a funnier way to ask it. Because
someone's going to question. They'll be like, this is different.
They're going to think that you made a typo. They're going to 100% think you meant a D100, I bet.
Yep.
So that's what I want to see is how that plays out. Oh, goodness.
We are at the tweener, though.
This is the tweener. Kyle's famous in-between prepared segment that he has.
What do I have prepared for my in-between segment again?
What does he have prepared? Do you remember?
Huh?
It's a new year.
It's a new year, and we're talking resolutions.
Some resies.
Yep. We just had a whole episode of our bonus episode.
The Total Tavern Totally Random bonus show or whatever.
Bonus show where we did the Kyle and Scott's New Year's, what was it called?
Scott and Kyle's Rollin' New Year's Weave, parentheses, live before.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yes, it's a great. That was our. We talked about the year in review. We talked about other years. We rolled randomly for other years of our lives and talked about those for fun. But we did not talk about resolutions. And it is New Year. Time for resolutions. A lot of people make resolutions to better themselves, to better others, and to be better people, and to do better things. Do we like to do those? Do you like to do those?
Historically, no. I've kind of made it a point in my 34 years of life to just sort of like do the opposite of bettering myself every year. I feel I've been on steady decline. That's sort of been my
de-resolution.
It's like I'm like a YouTube video when your internet's going out. The resolution is just getting shittier and shittier.
It's getting worse.
I'm down to 144p, I think, at this point.
Ooh, that's real bad.
It's bad.
It's time for a resolution, Scott. It's time for bump that resolution up. Get a higher frame rate. Right, which more important, frame rate or resolution?
Resolution, obviously, I think.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
a bad question.
As long as you're getting to like 24 frames per second, we're good, Although resolution is a lie sometimes, especially on YouTube. I have to complain about this, but I fucking hate YouTube lies to you. When you hit play on a video, it has the it'll say 1080p auto, and then if you click on the actual 1080p, the resolution definitively gets better. You're just lying to me. It's the bit rate, I guess, that's changing, but it's.
And I think if you like pay for premium or something, you get like a higher resolution, but it's like fake or YouTube sucks. They really just like to lie to the consumer. It's bad.
Anyway, make sure you're watching our episodes on youtube.com/TallTaleTavern.
But yeah, the resolution versus frame rate, the only time I've ever considered that as a question was, I think, looking at gaming computers where it's you could get if you want a 4K screen, you can have that, but the frame rate, only goes up to 60.
That's a fair point. I do in the realm of gaming. If we're talking gaming, I do think you can stop at depending on your playing setup. If you're playing on like a computer screen, I feel you could pretty comfortably stop at 1440p. And 144 hertz would be better than 4K and 60 hertz, right? Frame rate in that instance is important because you are interacting. The game needs to render the things that you did, and you need to see if you're playing competitively, especially games, right? Like you don't want somebody to have more frame data than you in a shooter or something like that, because then you're at a distinct disadvantage. So in that instance, frame rate. Good call.
You got to click on those heads, and if you can see those heads better moving, then you can click on them better.
Exactly.
Easy.
But we're not talking about that kind of resolution, Kyle.
We are not.
No. Let's do let's 360 times 3. Forget about 1080. Let's bring it back around. Is that what 360 times 3 is? I think it's 1080.
Yeah, I'm not looking it up.
3 times 300 is 900. 3 times 60 is 180. Add them together, 1080. Boom.
There's the math minor, folks, right there. I have a resolution.
It's
got one that I have tried and failed at before. Back in 2023, I tried this resolution and failed it. But this time I'm going to stick with it. And it is I've never had a real resolution, an actual one. I think I have to have some sort of dumb idea to actually want to do it. But this is my resolution. It is to do one more push-up every day of the year.
He's bringing it back, folks.
So January 1st, I did 1 push-up. January 2nd, 2 push-ups.
Boom.
3rd, 3 push-ups, and 4 today, the day of recording. The day this comes out, I will be doing 5 push-ups.
Now, will you be starting off future Tttttts episodes doing the number of push-ups required for that day on camera? I'm just...
On camera, yes. Lock it in.
By the end of the year, we just want to sit while Kyle does 300 push-ups on camera.
My huge arms are going to be...
Kyle can't even roll anymore.
Massive.
He can't get the dice to the table. Did you hear about Kyle? He crushed all of his dice into dust just trying to pick them up. He's so...
How cool would that be? That'd be awesome. They should make crushable dice. Like that you can crush in your hand.
They should. They should make dice cereal that you can eat. They should make like D20 shaped cereal puffs to eat.
I'd eat it.
Yeah.
I'd eat it. I failed this 2 years ago because my son was born and it's all his fault. It's Cruz's fault. We were in the hospital room that I could not lay down in because it was so tiny, and I didn't have the I didn't have the pride. I didn't have the gall. I don't know. I couldn't go out to the hallway.
I guess I don't know what you would call it. I understand what you're saying though, like the lack of shame. To go out there and just do them.
I couldn't go out into the hallway and do the. At that point I was at like 90 push-ups or so.
Yeah.
And do them every day. And so I was like, I'll catch up after we leave the hospital. And then I was very quickly like 270 push-ups behind, and that was bad news. And so here's to making it past March this year and becoming super buff by the end of the year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a resolution person in general. I feel like they're hard to stick to for me to like to do something completely out of the usual.
The only one
if it was something easy, if it was like I already go to the gym and I just need to add like one more day or something, then that would be
I've definitely heard of people who it's like their resolution is like, I'm just going to go to the gym earlier in the day than I currently do. Like that's a fair resolution. Like I already go every day, but I go too late. And so now I'm going to try to wake up early and just change my routine a little bit. I can see how that's easier than doing the resolution of I'm going to start going to the gym every day. I think the only time I've ever made a definitive resolution and really stuck to it at all was probably that same year that you did the push-ups was the year that I was like, I'm just not going to eat beef this year. I'm just going to try to cut it out from my diet for a year. And I basically think I succeeded at that. There maybe had been like 1 or 2 times where it was the only choice or something, but I only ate Impossible Burgers when I had to order a burger, and I got black beans at Taco Bell. Those were the only changes I had to make for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did it.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I felt good about that.
Do you have any?
But
oh, yeah.
I've never really had a strong desire in any other way to do one.
Well, this is a D&D podcast. Let's talk about D&D resolutions.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a D&D resolution that I was talking about yesterday.
And he is resolute in this resolution. He will be doing this.
My resolution is to kill more player characters. I couldn't even say it with a straight face.
I love it. It's good. It's a good resolution. Deadly encounters. I like it personally.
Super deadly. Balancing in 5e is interesting because like deadly, when something hits like the deadly mark, I feel like that is the baseline of where I start with balancing an encounter. And so deadly, you're like, oh boy, this could turn deadly. People, you could have a TPK. But once players get up to a certain level, like, level 5 or 6, it feels like they're very capable, and it's very hard to actually kill players, player characters. But yeah, my resolution is to turn up the lethality. For these episodes we do, for these like 2-episode adventures, it's hard to want to make it really lethal because you have we have 2 episodes to do a little story with some characters, and having a character death during that can change the flow and the pace of the story. But I think so I haven't shied away from it. I just haven't tuned it up high enough where we've actually had real player character deaths on the podcast. So that's something that I want to do more of in the future, and be a little bit more ruthless with natural ones, like my good friend Becca. I love that. That's her style. And tune up the intensity knob, I think.
Tune it up, folks. I like it, Kyle. I think you can succeed in this resolution, even if my resolution is to try to make sure that doesn't happen, to try to continue to thwart Kyle's attempts to kill people and make sure he succeeds at killing nobody.
Which is also satisfying for me. I love that aspect of.
Yeah, but I think I'm okay with you killing more people, because I honestly, here's something I would like to resolve to do, Kyle. This is a minor one, but I think I want to go the rest of this year without using silvery barbs ever.
Oh, wow.
That's
okay.
Yeah. I don't want to use things that impact the DM's role in that way.
Should we ban silvery barbs? Should I do it? I think about it all the time because I do kind of like it. When it happens, I love to hate it. It's one of those things you love to hate.
I understand what you mean. It becomes almost too predictable that it's going to happen, even though it is really fun when it does happen in the right moments, But we didn't have it for Ceramica, and I felt like it was fine, and it aided in your deadliness of making encounters scarier, or to not have that oh shit option when things look bad,
So should we ban silvery barbs? Interesting thought. Maybe not.
I mean, I'm not entirely opposed to it. I think maybe we should. I think we should consider that for the future. A more
post in our Discord. I want to hear some thoughts from our listeners.
Okay.
Silvery barbs.
Yay?
Want it?
Nay?
Or yay? Nay? Should we limit its use sometimes and not have it be there?
That could be interesting. I do wonder if it would be better if it was, I don't know, higher level or more limited in a way. It is incredibly.
I think you could get in trouble. I think it's tough to balance things like that because you can get into some real trouble when you're starting to mess with spells and saying, oh, this is like more of like a second level spell, and then it's like, well, then they have to use it for a second level slot when they have 2 other slots that they want to really use those for, like shatter or something, a more impactful spell. So I'd be worried about changing the actual balance of the spell itself, because then it like messes with everything else versus just, if you got rid of it, then it opens up more opportunities.
Yeah. I don't think for our sake we need to try to rebalance it, but I would be curious about the actual game designers in the future if they wanted to, really take a good hard look at it and find a way to implement it maybe as like a class feature that gets used less often or something in some way, like it's just so potent as a spell. It's so, and you can do it so many times, that it can be a bit much. Other resolutions, though, for me, Kyle, I was thinking about this a bit. I have one thing I would like to do in D&D in general that I think I'm bad at is taking notes. I'd like to be better at least writing down NPC names. Oftentimes, I think because of the podcast, I think I don't need to take notes because, like, I listen to everything twice. I play it and then I go back and I listen to it again. And oftentimes I do that like before we've really even done another session. But especially with like Expedition Untold, I was editing it as we were going. But with Ceramica, I wasn't editing it as we were going because we were recording them a lot faster. And there were a lot more times where I was like, oh, what the fuck's happening again? Like I was just a little bit more confused as a result. So I think I need to be a better player at taking notes.
I did that this year with our home campaign with Ryan because I started using my laptop. Basically, he built a new version of his table that allowed me to set my laptop there, and I was like, I don't like writing things down because I can't read my own handwriting, and so I was like, I should really just use my laptop for my character sheet and all this stuff. And so I switched to that and started writing down. I have an Excel spreadsheet for the Waterdeep ones. And that's been really nice to just be able to pull that up and have a folder in my drive and use it for that. That's a whole different discussion on how you like to actually play.
Yeah. And see, well, that's the whole thing, though, because you're next to me with those notes, I feel extra emboldened to not take notes in Ryan's thing. Cause I'm like, well, Kyle's right here and he's got a spreadsheet of NPCs. I can just look at, I have just looked at what you have written over there when I need to remember who someone is, like I'm cheating on a test.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I need to,
but I did it as my, for Arkandel, for the home campaign that I run, I put it all into Excel spreadsheet instead of like having different locations and different, Google Doc lists. How many NPCs do you think that there are in the Arkandel world that are? I'm just curious.
Named NPCs that like
that exist in the world right now, that in the home campaign.
I'm trying to think, and this is like throughout the entirety of the characters that might not appear again, but who have appeared in the past. Even I'm going to guess at least 80.
94 is what we're at.
Nice. Dang.
And that includes, there's been a lot of world building since you have stepped away from the table.
There were probably exactly 14 added since I left. And so that's probably why I guessed 80 and it was 94.
It might be accurate, actually.
That'd be awesome. I never got to meet Steve the Snake or whatever the fuck is.
Blue Steve.
Blue Steve, yeah. That's
Blue
a
Steve,
whole new guy to me. I have one other thing that is not really a resolution, but just something, I don't know, that I think would be really fun that I'd like to do for D&D this year. Maybe on the podcast, maybe not. But I think it would be really fun to resolve to play like an older version of D&D for a one shot. Like to try to do Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, like, one of the longest lasting, most beloved editions. To have never tried it to me is, feels like I'm missing out on a part of the history of D&D. So I think it would be really fun for us to try to run something in, advanced 2nd edition D&D. So I guess I'm resolving to learn the rules of advanced 2nd edition D&D.
I would love to have someone who knows the rules allow me to be a player for that one. All right. Because learning the rules of a previous system, of a previous version, just sounds like a nightmare to me.
Yeah,
but
I remember it being weird, like the DCs are like low numbers. I can't remember exactly how you calculate things, but it's like you need lower numbers or something. I shouldn't even talk about it. I have such a vague sense of what I read like 2 years ago when I was looking at the rules.
I want to play advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
You want to go the very first edition. He wants that. All right. Maybe that's what we should do. We're just going to play through all 4 editions of Dungeons and Dragons. That would be a fun series idea, to do like one little one shot in each version and just like compare and contrast the systems. So much work to learn.
Yeah,
so many different systems of D&D, but
to be able to play it and have it be listenable, we could do it off podcast and then just talk about it as a series.
That's true.
Maybe a better way to do it than like listening to us fumble through the rules as we're trying to play.
Yeah, people hate that. They don't get enough. They get enough of that in 5e.
Yeah,
honestly. So those are sort of my resolutions. Be better at note taking and to look into the history of D&D a little bit more, I guess, is my goal. I really do want to learn the rules of the other versions, because I remember I played 3.5 for 2 years before we like years before we started this podcast, and there were different rules in that, and I remember liking 3.5 in its own way, and I never even tried 4th edition, and it just feels like there's so many different ways that D&D can be run that I'd be interested in trying out different sets and rule sets and seeing what I like best. The same way that I like to try out Pathfinder or Daggerheart, things like that, just to see which elements work best in different rule systems. Boom. Kyle's going to kill more people, and I'm going to learn more about the history of D&D. I think those are good resolutions.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vow this time next year, I will be an expert rules lawyer on Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2E.
I'm going to start carving in like hash marks for how many characters I've killed this year.
Ooh, that's good. You should be like Victor Zaz from Batman, who like cuts a scar into his arm for every person he's killed. His whole body is like covered in like fucking scars. It's pretty badass.
It's like the guy from the Black Panther, first Black Panther movie, the
Killmonger?
Michael B. Jordan's character. Yeah, wasn't that Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
That movie?
Is that what he did?
But he has that little. I think he's got little scars for how many people he's killed.
Damn,
I thought
that's badass.
Maybe
he's
not.
got a lot of scars, and I got to say that guy, he's really good at like symmetrical cutting on his own body.
Oh, yeah,
it's very well spaced scars.
His body look like those candies, the little dot candies.
Oh yeah.
I think those are the worst candies of all time, by the way.
I don't think I've ever had one.
It's imagine eating a bit of sugar that has a bit of paper on it.
Yeah.
Every time.
There's a show on NBC right now in Peacock called Stumble, which is like a cheerleading mockumentary comedy that's actually pretty good. I think you'd like it. But part of the lore of that show is the city they live in is like has a factory that makes that candy, and it's like constantly like polluting the air with it. And, like, it just sucks and is awful. So that's my main frame of reference. I do assume it is terrible based on that. Okay. Should we get to what our last question is that was rolled by the people of the tavern?
Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. Kyle, let me look. Who got it? Who got in there?
Zombie Polish.
All right. Zombie
ZP
has rolled question. So 16 on the sheet, which is another question from.
I think is ZP Zombie Polish or no?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm 95% sure that you are correct on that. Gotcha. Yes, because their full username is acrylic zombie, acrylic like nail polish, I'm assuming. So we're going to say that that's sense. Good. We got another Becca question. But we have 19 minutes to discuss it, but I think it is one that is very easy to discuss at length. A classic question, which is, which elements of playing D&D are you most drawn to of the classic combat, exploration, character development, role play, puzzle solving?
She's got them listed there.
Yeah.
Let me write those down here. What are those?
Boom.
Say it.
Hold on. Time starts now because we got 19 minutes. Now I'm going to list them. Classic combat, exploration, character development, role play, puzzle solving. And I'm sure we can think of if there's anything else that she failed to list, if there's something we're drawn to that we could further discuss it.
Cool.
I'd like to start with what I think I'm least interested in and that I know you're most interested in, or you really like, which is classic combat. Yeah. You love combat, and I'm just not. I mean, I don't. There's nothing in D&D that I'm like, oh fuck, I hate this, But I'm not like.
Right.
But I am more jazzed during role play moments than during combat moments. Usually, I would say.
I think 5e is best as a combat system. I think it's a combat system that has included role play, and the role playing aspects, there's not some hard rules for it. There's not some mechanics that are specific for the role play moments, and so things are a little bit different with those. So it's very the role playing aspect of it can vary drastically between DMs and table styles. But combat is what I think about when I create a character. When I'm making a character, I'm thinking about their abilities that can come up with that they can use, and most of the time that's going to be in the combat scenario.
It's interesting.
When I'm planning when I am planning to DM an adventure, a campaign, one of the first things I do is thumb through the monster manual and get some inspiration, just to like look at the different monsters and kind of see which ones I've run before, which ones I haven't, which ones have some fun things that could make combat fun and interesting. And so because 5e, a lot of the rules and a lot of the things that you make with your characters are all based on, or a lot of them are based on initiative and based on character abilities, things that can be used during a combat. It's what I think of most when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. When I look at the minis that I've printed, I think about the encounter you guys had with the basketball football conglomeration ball holder monster that you guys fought in Arkandel, and those specific maps that were created for that encounter. That's all part of like combat and why it's kind of the most fun for me to like think about what my character does during those combat moments.
It's so interesting to me. Like I think of my abilities and stuff, but when I'm my first thought is so often like out of combat abilities. Like how can I use this in a creative way outside of combat for things so often? I never am really thinking about how potent I am in combat unless it's just like, this really serves this character idea and I know it will also be potent in combat, you know? Like it's always sort of a secondary thought to me. And I said it when we were talking about Ceramica episode 1, I think, but really peak D&D to me is the smallest moments of role play back and forth with each other. The stuff where it is loose and unstructured, that doesn't have rules, when it is us all just like trying to make up that we need a present for Captain Spoonleg and we're just like riffing off of each other in that way, having to make up these elements on the fly. That sort of like in the moment decision making is the most like engaging part for me. Even though combat is fun, it's also like combat to me is a lot like being in line waiting to order. I'm just standing there. Other people are doing their stuff. I've got my idea and I just have to like keep a little bit of track of what they're doing and if it affects my turn. But otherwise I'm just kind of like, all right, let's come on. I mean, I'm not like bored when other people are having their turns, but I just feel like a lot of the time, in the same way that when I'm in line at the movie theater, I think of what I want to do like right away. When one turn ends, I immediately think of what I want to do on my next turn or start thinking about that. And then once I think about that, it's like it's just a waiting game to get there in a way that's less in the moment fun for me than when we're just all role playing and you just shoot out whatever comes into your head as it comes out, you know? But I do like the structure. I mean, I love the structure I need structure for combat. I think that's why I prefer D&D to like Daggerheart from what I've played. Is combat itself, I do like to have some structure so it's not chaos, obviously. I don't think that it works as well for me without an initiative. Man, so that's only two of the things that Becca listed out there, though, is like.
But this is the most important. This is probably the most important. Maybe. But I think a big reason why we have this difference is maybe treating D&D as a board game versus like a TTRPG. You know, I have a board game that I have called, it's Valheim, based on the video game, but it's exploring a world. It's finding resources, gathering resources, creating weapons, and fighting monsters. And to me, it's like, this is like D&D without all of the role play stuff. And I really enjoy this board game playing. I play with, Cash, my son, all the time. I take that love of that board game that I have and put it into D&D, and that's part of the game for me for D&D. It's when we get into that combat scenario, and I have now with D&D, I don't have just a character that rolls his damage with his sword. I have my guy Groggy Stonefist, who is a cleric of Thor, who loves to sing as well as like do his thunder attack. So he'll, thunder, and he'll shoot out his guiding bolt at things with his hammer. And so it makes it really more goofy for me. And I've had all these things that I've, thought about for this specific character, a Tempest cleric, and all their cool things they can do in combat. And now I get to like do a lot of those fun things that, Wrath of the Storm, he gets hit and then like they take lightning damage. That's a really cool aspect to me. And I only get to do that in combat.
Here's a follow-up on this. I want to know, do you prefer combat as a DM or as a player?
Player.
Interesting. Okay. I would have thought maybe it would be the opposite, just because I know you as somebody who sort of I feel like this is innate to why you like to DM. It links so much back to our like Halo days of Kyle's Secret Tower. I feel like you love to make a challenge for your friends to try to solve, like you're somebody who likes to make their own little. You always have your secret tower. You used to make the Minecraft raids. You like to design a thing for us to try to overcome in a way. So I would almost have expected that would be part and parcel to why you love combat, is because you get to design the encounter,
Yeah. I think the whole game scratches that itch for me. I think the entire like creating a story and what's going on, it's not just like the dungeon that you're going through in the combat. It's like the whole thing. It's the NPC that you talk to that actually has more information about what's going on and has a secret that they're keeping from you. That the whole creating a raid or something is.
And that kind of falls in line more with like puzzle solving in a weird way. Like, do you think that you enjoy creating puzzles? I want to get the answer for these all is like DM versus player perspective. Do you enjoy solving puzzles or creating puzzles more?
But puzzle. That's last on my list. So the puzzle solving and creating is. Okay.
I guess I'm thinking let's include mystery with that then. Not necessarily like a puzzle that is like you have to put X thing in Y spot, but just like setting up a narrative puzzle to me is the same thing. Like what you were just describing of this NPC has clues to the story thing. That is a puzzle in my mind. Piecing together what is going on is a puzzle. For me, storytelling and puzzles are part and parcel as a player, I think.
That complicates it a lot. I'll tell you what I don't like about puzzle solving. I don't like little puzzles that are like, math puzzles or, figuring out the runes in the room.
Thank God I haven't DM'd Kyle. Anytime I've prepared anything that like that I think I want to DM, that is so much of it is that kind of bullshit. I love that kind of bullshit. I have so many like weird number-based and color-based puzzles and shit that I've written out on notepads that you would hate.
I want to play the character that's like, get to the point, I smash the nearest rune and trigger the worst thing that could happen.
Well, I love that too as a player, though. That's the best.
I think as a DM, creating a puzzle like that is really difficult because a lot of the times when you're sitting there and you have a puzzle in front of players, you're wondering, is this too hard? Is this too easy? If it's too hard, or it's just you feel like you didn't like nail it with the design of the puzzle, then people are getting frustrated. You're like, well, this is just a waste of time. Nobody's having fun, and then like, oh, you got the puzzle right. And then it's like, well, that didn't feel that great getting the puzzle right because we kind of hated the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
That's from the DM side, like creating things like that are not as like, it's not as enjoyable to me to sit there wondering the whole time, is this going to be a really fun thing for you guys or not? So those types of puzzles, if I could separate them out, last on the list. But real mystery, the real puzzle of the encounter of what's going on, that is really fun. That just happened in our home campaign where they were in a town that was all the people had left.
Yeah,
just like
that exact scenario to me is 100% a puzzle. You told me about that, and that's what I think of as like, this is a puzzle they need to solve, even though it's not your standard, like you're in a dungeon puzzle that people probably think of first and foremost. Yeah.
That type is very fun, and that scratches the itch of me creating a really cool, fun environment of people trying to figure things out.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think I like that kind of stuff a lot as a player, although I will, like, in much the same way that you talk about is you're worried about if your players are having fun. Sometimes I get annoyed if I can't figure something out, and I just, it's just pissing me off that somebody knows the answer and I don't know what it is, you know? It's like watching a movie that I don't understand yet, where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It will frustrate me. But I still really like doing that too. What are all our choices again? Classic combat, exploration.
We've got exploration. Exploration is something that basically the last 2 sessions of my home campaign have been exploration. It's been they're setting out on the river, going to one of the characters' hometowns, and we rolled for travel. They had options of stopping in some towns on the way, and so like I had these towns built out and didn't know if they were just going to pass by or not, but they decided to stop in for breakfast basically at this town called Armage, and they pull into this town and see that it's mostly halflings, so all the buildings are shorter. There are food barges along the river, like food trucks, and a big riverboat inn that had glass bottom rooms. Like, this is all stuff that was built in there for them to discover if they wanted to, and they did. They stopped at Bill's Eggs, and just a dude making eggs and omelets and stuff. Basically the last couple sessions have been them like exploring the world, and that's been fun and a unique thing that we haven't really done in that campaign.
You know what's interesting?
What do you feel about?
I was gonna say it's interesting to me that, like, I do love the sort of formless chaos of role play sometimes, right? But I don't think I like the formless exploration, because I don't like not knowing what is important and what isn't. I don't know where, if I should stop at this town, if Kyle has a plan for this, or if I'm derailing the plan by stopping here. Am I supposed to? Am I not? Like, things like that. I like to just know I'm on the path of the story that we want to be telling, and I'm like interacting with that as we're going and I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm also I'm trying to not derail it, obviously. As my letter earlier in this episode said, I like to keep things on track. And so I get worried during exploration that I'm going to like divert us from what is the most thought out, best prepared thing that the DM has, if that makes sense. You know, like, I don't want to get us sidetracked for a whole session on some bullshit that wasn't what you wanted to be doing necessarily.
Right.
You know?
When we're on the podcast and we have like a set number of episodes to do, definitely feel that way as a player and as a DM. You know, it's like I don't necessarily want you to like latch on to a hook that is not as well prepared, and maybe not like everything that I have set out for you to do for this more on the rails style, adventure, one shot adventure. With the home campaign, it's been more of like, hey, I'm going to build lots of things out, and there should be rewarding things to do and look at in any way you go, if you would like to. But you obviously also have this one destination that you're going to get to where there'll be things. So I want you guys to have fun. And if it's fun for you to stop in a town and go shopping in this town, I want you to do that, you know?
It's interesting because it's like, I think maybe it harkens... I'm somebody who doesn't like open world video games, really. I like when I have like a specific direction objective that is given to me to accomplish. And I think I like that same thing in D&D, when I know what the objective is and I'm just sort of free to pursue it in any clever ways I can think of, right? Like, that's the fun of D&D to me, is tackling a specific problem in a unique way that maybe the DM didn't expect. It's the same sort of feeling as when this is an open world game, but one that I do like. It's like when you're playing Breath of the Wild or something and you can solve like a puzzle in a way that you didn't necessarily think about, that you don't even think maybe the devs thought about you doing it that way, you know? And that's often in games like that, you find really specific objectives in the open world, which is the same thing for D&D, but I just prefer when I'm on the rails of the story and I'm interacting within this railed story that is staying focused in some way, rather than just like, you can do anything. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Right. And as a player, I think I'm on your side. Exploration is lower on my list too. But just recently I've had more fun with it. than I have had before.
I mean, it's always fun.
Yeah, as a player,
when you're DMing anything, it's going to be fun because I like you talking about making the world where they're all halflings and the buildings are all small. You know, like that's a fun environment to just get to explore and have fun with. So I'm sure I would have fun with that at the table. All of this, like I said, I like D&D. I like doing all of it. It's just if I had to rank them, right? Yeah. So
yeah, it's lower on my list as well. But and also part of it's like I don't necessarily want to like ask the DM, hey, I'm gonna go check out this store and put them in an uncomfortable spot potentially for that person where it's like, well, I don't know what to do for this, or it takes more preparation, or other players at the table are like, why are we doing this when we have a dungeon to get to?
Yeah,
I'm
always worried about being the thing that is stalling progress for other people. For sure, I try to limit my own desire to branch off in wild directions sometimes so that doesn't happen. And that was always one of my biggest fears of playing D&D or of being a DM, is that somebody's going to just be like, I want to go into a store in this town and buy something. And I'm like, I don't have any. I didn't even think of a person to run a store. I don't have anything for sale. Like, that terrifies me. So I never want to do that to a DM, I guess.
Well, the really cool thing that happened recently was Becca asked if she could get a snake. I want to buy a snake in this town, and they're in a town where they should have that opportunity. So I look at my notes and see that there's a place called the Mysterium Emporium or something. And so I had the shopkeeper that they were at say to Seraphina, her character, yeah, there's this shop, but it's in this side of town, and you have to focus on what you want, and it can appear. And so she went there with Nori, her friend, and they went down the streets, and I had them roll to see if they could concentrate, like a concentration check, basically on the thing, and roll above a DC 20, in which she, Becca does. DC 20 is baseline for her, right? And then this mysterious door appeared, and they went in thinking about snakes, and this whole it's just a store that was only snakes, and that's when they found Blue Steve.
Now, just the name Blue Steve, I assumed that was Nori's snake. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes. Yeah. Because they found her snake, which I forget what her snake was. It was like Seloquence or something. It was like a fancy snake, 100 gold pieces to buy that snake. And then there was Blue Steve, which was only 25 gold pieces.
Classic. Time is up, Kyle. And I'm keeping it on the rails. Oh. That's the end of this discussion.
Geez.
We flew through 19 minutes on that one. That was quick. Cool. I think we could have gone longer, but we can't now. Sorry. That's it, Kyle, for this week's episode of the Tttts.
Woo! First of the year.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening and your continued patronage. You are our patrons that give us the power to cast Eldritch Blasts all over the internet. So thank you.
Tune in next time to see me do push-ups.
Yeah, guys, you'll see Kyle do, 11 push-ups next time. Depending on, are we doing your push-ups based on when the episode comes out, or are we doing them based on the day we record? Do we want people to know what day we're recording things always?
We'll do them for the day they come out. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So Kyle will be doing 12 push-ups at the beginning of the next episode.
Yes. I'll just have to keep track of when I've actually.
Now, when we double up records, that's going to be rough for you because you're going to have to.
I'm going to be so swole, dude. It's not even going to matter. Push-ups are going to be like nothing at the end of this year. I'm going to be doing 365 push-ups.
Oh, you'll be yawning while you're doing them one-handed. It's not going to be any problem at all for Kyle. That's it, folks. We're done for this week. Make sure you're listening to Ceramica episode 5 coming out on Wednesday, and a Chaser coming out maybe tomorrow, possibly for you, imminently, at least, probably by Wednesday on episodes 2 and 3 of Ceramica. And I think that is all there is to discuss. So goodbye for now.
See ya.